Hey everyone, this is Mitch with Cyberspace Games, and I'm here with another update on the Space Simulator. Sorry it's been so long since I've posted another video. I've been pretty busy with work, I just got a promotion there, so I've just been really busy on that, but I finally got some free time to start working on the game again, getting a few things updated and some new features added. So let's get started. First off, let me unpause the game here. What I wanted to, I'm sure you've noticed right away, is that we have a spaceship in here. I know I said I was going to be taking it off, but it was just one of those ideas. It was just too cool to not do. So I decided to keep that spaceship in there, and I'm going to be using that spaceship as the main source of movement in this game. And this is how you get around. This is how you control your game. It's with this spaceship. So first off, this spaceship is a randomly generated spaceship. So let me go ahead and just reset the game really quick, so you can see what I mean. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the spaceship is a little different now. It doesn't look the same as it used to look. It has different wings. I believe it has a different cockpit too. See there, you can see the wings are all different and stuff like that. And if I change the view, the cockpit, I think this is a shorter cockpit. The last one had the longer one. Yeah, this is a short one. And I only have limited view when it comes to the cockpit's wings and engines, weapons, and stuff like that, because I'm working on this by myself, and it takes a while to make stuff like that. So I only have a few on there. So let me go ahead and I'm going to reset it again just to see if I can get a better ship design. Okay, that one looks pretty cool. And then you can change the views by pressing the camera button, cockpit view, just looking at it from the side, looking at the ship and what's behind it, and then back to the normal view. Alright, and so that's, I'm sure also that you notice that these graphics are not the best. Like I said, I work on this kind of stuff by myself, so it takes a while to at least even make the model, but this model is a really simple one. The graphics on the ships, I did not put that much effort into them. I wanted to get them on there, but I will be improving the graphics. I'll be making these textures for the ship myself, but this is just a texture that I pulled from the internet. I'm not going to be using this in the game, but I just put it in there just to give it some better graphics rather than just having it be a flat color all the way around. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be changing, or actually, I'm definitely going to be making new graphics for these. But anyway, let's get on with it. As you can see, I have a few new buttons. I decided to take the left joystick off because that controlled the camera when we were using a camera, but now we're using a ship, so we want to control our ship. We still have our speed meter here, our speed slider, and then here would be our boost button, so that will boost us, make us go faster, and then we have our stopping button here, which will stop us if we're going. Actually, we're always going. If this speed is up, then the ship is automatically moving at whatever that speed happens to be. But considering how big this how big this star is, you actually can't see it moving because the star is so big that we just can't see it moving unless I were to press the boost button. So that's what we did for the ship so far. Now what I want to do is show you a little bit on these stars that I've updated. I'm sure you can see this little corona going across the edges around here. That's one thing for the graphics that I added up, and I also added an atmosphere, which you can see if I get a little closer, then you can see that the atmosphere will actually start to block a little bit of the view of space. With the sun, I decided to make the atmosphere a little light so that you can still see space, but on the planets you can't see space anymore unless there's like a moon or something orbiting around the planet. You'll be able to see the moon beyond the atmosphere, but the nebula and the star background will not be visible. So that's what we got for our stars, and I'm sure you already noticed when I turn, it automatically aligns me with the surface of the star, so that we don't go flipping upside down when we're turning and stuff. Or that if we land on a planet sideways, it'll automatically align us and stuff like that. Alright, so let me go ahead and choose a planet here. Oh, and I'm sure you can see these names they're a little weird, yeah, I know. But it's because the way I generate the names is I have syllables, random syllables that arrange themselves depending on the formula that they go by. This one goes by 3 syllables, 3 random syllables, and it names itself Crow, Beck, Den. And this one goes by 4 random syllables, but has a space in between the first 2. So Op, Ok, Morley. I know these are some weird names, but that's okay. So let me go ahead and let me try to find a. Let's just go to this planet here. So if I warp to this planet, I'll start warping there, and with these planets, I pretty much did the same thing with the graphics, except for, as you can see, the level of detail on the planet's actually changing. And it's not even just a flat surface. Let me show you what I mean. If I get closer to this planet, you will be able to see that there are actually physical hills and mountains and stuff like that. See that? It's not just a flat surface anymore. I actually made it so that has hills and mountains and stuff like that. And I know that the graphics aren't that great when it comes to the surface of the planet, but this is a mobile game. I can't have it use too much processing power, or it'll crash and just won't work right. So this is pretty much the best that I can do when it comes to the graphics of the planets. But if you ask me, I'd say this is really good. I really like it. I haven't really seen very many mobile games that get so detailed when it comes to space. Alright, so that's what we got to the planets, and as you can see, the planets also automatically align so that you don't go flipping over and stuff like that. Oh, and the atmosphere. Let me get a little closer so I can show you what I mean about the atmosphere, making it so you can't see space. Well, as a matter of fact, it seems like this atmosphere is a little light because this is one of my small planets. Let me go to a big planet. On the small planets, if they even have a atmosphere, I make them kind of light so you can still see space through it. But let's go ahead and let's go to this planet here. This one should have a nice full atmosphere. Oh, and check it out, it even has a ring. And that's another thing I did with the planets. I made it so that they can either, if they have a ring, then they'll either randomly generate it, or they won't. They'll either have a ring or they won't. But not all planets are capable of having rings. Only certain few. Let me just get a little closer to this planet, and it does take a little longer because this planet's a little bigger. So if you want to get closer faster, just increase that speed here. But I kind of like getting up at it a little slow. All right, so there you go. As you can see, and you can hardly see the ring there, but you can't see space at all. Hardly, you can really hardly even see it. And there is this little dot here, which you can see. That's the sun, and it's just a quick, easy fix in the program. I need to take that out of there so you can't see the sun beyond the atmosphere. You can still see the circle of the sun here, the brightness, but I don't want to be able to see the actual sun object in there. I'm sure that if I decrease my visibility, it should go away. Maybe not. Let me try it again. See what happens here. There we go. It went away, but I don't want people to have to decrease their visibility and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I might take this option off, but it's still one of those things I'm thinking about. Alright, so now that we got the planets updates out of the way, I will go ahead and show you something new here. You can see there's a new button up here. It's called the galactic map. If you press that, it'll open a mini cluster which has all the current stars perfectly distanced away from themselves and stuff like that. Like this planet is, or I'm sorry, this star is the closest one, or this star is the closest one to this one here, just like it is out in the actual game. But let me go ahead and let me choose on a planet here. It will. Here, let me try to get a little closer. Sometimes it doesn't detect that click if I don't get too close enough. Alright, so there you can see it gets the name on there, which is Zerkoth for this one, and it also gets your distance, which is 877 astronomical units, and I know that's really, really close compared to star distances in real life, but like I said, this is just a game. Let me go ahead and warp there. And this galactic map will be replacing the destination selection. The only reason I still have the destination selection is because in the galactic map I haven't got the planets on there yet. But as soon as I get those on there, the destination selection will be out. We will not have that anymore. Oh, and I'm sure you just noticed how that sun kind of like bounced up and down. I made it so that I'm, instead of moving the ship, we're moving the universe around the ship. And what happens is, the reason I did that is because when the ship gets too far from the center of the universe, or the center of the actual game, then it starts to shake around and get a little glitchy and stuff like that. So I decided that I wanted to move the universe instead of the player. So the ship here actually does not move at all. It only turns and stuff like that. It doesn't move though. The only time it'll move is if it's running into a planet. But then as soon as you warp to another planet, it resets back to zero, back to the center of the universe. Not the universe, sorry, the center of the game, and the universe can move around it and stuff like that. Although there is a catch to it, which I'm working on right now. It's actually one of the main things I'm working on. Is let me go ahead and just boost up a little bit, just so I can get the universe moving. So the universe is moving around. If I go back down to 0 and stop, you'll see just a few seconds here. See that twitch there? That means that the universe reset its position, and there won't be any lagging. But the catch is that you have to wait for 3 seconds while not moving at all. And I'm working on that right now, actually. That's the main thing that I've been focusing on, is having it so that the universe can reset its position a lot faster than that, so the person doesn't have to wait, and so that it doesn't twitch with the camera like that also. Because the reason it's twitching with the camera like that is it's calculating the speed of the universe, and when the universe moves when the universe moves, it gets the speed of how fast it's moving, and then depending on the speed, it'll change the field of view of your camera, which is why I'm going to be taking this off. This actually does nothing at all. It's just a feature that I added, and I decided to take it out because I decided to change the field of view this way. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've updated. Oh, and on the galactic map, you can see we have a marker here which shows you the current destination that you have selected. And I can hardly see, but there's a little blue dot there. Let me go ahead and warp to another planet here, or another star. Let's warp to this one here. Okay, let me try getting a little closer so I can select that. Okay, there we go. So Nellis Lenum is the name of this star. Let me go ahead and back up a little bit so we can see that blue dot again. And let me choose warp, and I'll go straight back to the galactic map, and there you go. The blue dot is actually the player. So that'll show you where you are in the universe. And it was actually, to be honest, it was kind of hard, or it was a little confusing at first when I started putting that marker in there, because I was having it be the position of the player, but then I kind of forgot that I had the player not move at all, so it wasn't moving. And it was kind of funny and frustrating, but it was a really easy fix, and I laughed at myself as soon as I fixed it. I was like, man, how did I forget something that's as important as that? But yeah, it was pretty funny. But I got it fixed now, and everything's working just fine. And as you can see, we have our nebula in the background, which is you can actually zoom straight through that nebula, which is another thing I like. It's not just part of the background. These stars are part of the background. Like these ones around here, those are just part of the background. I wanted to fill the space up a little bit more. So let me go ahead and try warping to a different planet and see how far it actually is. Alright, so yeah, you can see the nebula moving around. It looks really nice. Got different colors in there. Got your sun's flare that gets up there as soon as you get close enough. Yeah, so that's pretty much all that I updated on this. And this version of the game that I'm playing right now is actually a demo / preview version. If I go to the show information, oh, sorry, that's the information for my sun here for the star. It has all the, yellow dwarf, G is the class and stuff like that, all that good stuff. But, let me go to a planet so I can get some information on the planet here. I can show you what the demo version has. Actually, the demo version, the only thing is that it has less. As you can see, let me go ahead and show information. It doesn't say who it's owned by because this is just a demo. You can't conquer planets. And it doesn't say the available materials because you're not going to be able to mine the planet or anything like that either because this is just a demo version. But that's what I did for that. And also I wanted to have the most minimal amount of processing. I didn't want it to work the phone too hard, because like I said, this is a mobile game, and it's not like a computer game where you can upgrade your computer and just have really good graphics. And it's a mobile game. It's kind of limited, so I have to be kind of limited. There's so much more I would much rather do with this game, like improve these graphics on the planets, but this is about as far as I can go without the game crashing. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all that I did for the updates. This demo version, as soon as I'm done fixing a few things, I'm gonna publish this right away. And like I said, it's just a demo, it's just a preview. There's no actual game aspects to it. You can't control planets or trade or anything like that. But you can fly around and explore and look around and just get a feel of the universe and stuff. And, decide if you like it, if you want to make the purchase when it does come out. If you don't, just have fun playing with this demo. But as always, I appreciate you guys giving me the time. If you liked the video, make sure to like it. And if you want to see more on what I'm updating, what I'm working on, don't forget to subscribe.